Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In a massive triple threat match on WWE SmackDown, Jacob Fatu, also known as the Samoan Werewolf, will face off against Braun Strowman and Damian Priest. On March 1st, at the Rogers Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the victor will face off against Logan Paul, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and the winner of the Elimination Chamber match. The 32-year-old's possible participation in the next chamber match continues to divide the fans, and Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker has a message for him. Braun Breaker's October 2024 Raw stare-down with the Samoan Werewolf drove fans into a frenzy, and Muscle Man Malcolm questioned him about it in an interview. If they were to face off again, according to the dog, WrestleMania should be the location. Braun Breaker, like the prodigy from the Wwe family, is often mentioned as WWE's future star. CM Punk is certain that the Intercontinental Champion will reach the pinnacle if he avoids setbacks, and the youthful mainstay continues to grind under the burden. As of right now, Braun Breaker is a Raw member, and Jacob Fatu is a SmackDown performer. Maybe the corporation was only gauging interest in a possible high-profile confrontation in the future by interacting with them last year. Since Solo Sikoa dumped him and Tama Tonga in January, the Samoan Werewolf has been making waves in the singles scene. The Street Champ's unexpected reappearance last week was the show-stopping finale. When Solo Sikoa assaulted WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, it sparked a discussion over whether or not the creative staff would bring back their feud from the previous year. On the other hand, WrestleMania 41 rivalry between Sikoa and his cousin Jacob Fatu is what commentator Sam Roberts sees as the inevitable outcome of Sikoa's comeback. As the current WWE Champion stood tall in the middle of the ring, title belt slung over his shoulder and a self-assured grin stretching over his face, the WWE Universe went into a frenzy. His name was screamed by the electrified throng as they eagerly awaited the announcement of something significant. The atmosphere was electric as the champion swung his microphone around and unleashed his words. Jacob Fatu, I can feel your gaze upon me. Surely you've been patiently waiting. Additionally, I am aware that, on a subconscious level, you share my desire to discover the true leader of the group. In front of everyone on earth, I must say it. WrestleMania. Both of us. For the title of WWE Champion. The arena went into a frenzy. Some fans screamed in delight, while others mumbled in disbelief. The champion had recently confronted the most formidable and powerful figure outside of WWE, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Fatu was a devastating force who had ravaged independent circuits and MLRW. Everyone had hoped for this challenge in their hearts, but none had anticipated seeing it come. Jacob Fatu isn't your average rival. Being a proud descendant of the illustrious Wwe family, he comes from a long history of outstanding wrestlers. He comes from a long history of dominant WWE performers, including Roman Reigns, the USOs, and The Rock. Nevertheless, Fatu had carved his own way, away from WWE, being known as a vicious, unpredictable, and, despite his enormous stature, agile cruiserweight. His WWE career has been the subject of much fan speculation for quite some time. His matches in MLW became legendary. He has all the qualities needed to make an instant impression in WWE, including quickness, savagery, and incredible resilience. And now, the most significant chance had suddenly presented itself to him. He was being summoned to the greatest platform of them all, WrestleMania, by the current WWE Champion. The internet went boom. Suddenly, the hashtag #Fatchamp began trending all across the globe. Everyone from WWE superstars to pundits and fans has spoken on what could be the most talked about match at WrestleMania. Tweeted, "Be careful what you wish for, champ." Paul Heyman, who is usually perceptive of talent succession, said, "An entirely distinct kind of werewolf is the Samoan Werewolf. #Bloodline Clash #WrestleMania. In response, the USOs posted something mysterious that read, "He's always been family. But is he ready for this?" Commenting, I've seen what Fatu can do. Even Batista, a former WWE superstar, weighed in. His arrival at WWE should send shivers down everyone's spine. Everyone, even the champion. Days went by and Fatu still hadn't communicated. Much conjecture ensued. Could he say yes? Did WWE ever contact him? And then a pre-tape video played during SmackDown. Except for one little light, the screen was pitch dark. In the stillness, heavy breathing resounded. Then, a voice, deep, ominous, and brimming with controlled rage. You believe you're the most formidable predator? I thought you were the toughest. Until you go into the ring beside me, you haven't seen combat. I came from a family of fighters, created for combat, built from the ground up. Did you ever wonder what happens when you unleash the Samoan werewolf on the world's most famous stage? Very well. WWE Royal Rumble. You can't claim I didn't warn you, however. As the screen went dark, the WWE Universe gasped in shock, and then the crowd went wild with shouts. Officially, Jacob Fatu had taken the bait. Everything turned into a battleground in the weeks before WrestleMania. While defending his championship against strong challengers, the WWE champion continued to yell insults at Fatu. At the same time, vignettes showed Fatu practicing in the most extreme conditions, including crushing opponents in subterranean rings, polishing his top rope offensive, and flipping tires the size of vehicles. The champion narrowly avoided a brutal six-man battle at Elimination Chamber, retaining his championship. The lights in the stadium went out just as he stood there, bruised yet triumphant. As Jacob Fatu made his historic debut in WWE, a lone flashlight illuminated the entrance ramp. There was silence. Just staring at the champion, cracking his knuckles, and pointing at the WrestleMania sign above the ring were all he did. It had become more than simply a contest. It had become an emotional one. WrestleMania has come. Everybody was staring. The atmosphere was electric, and the entrances were magnificent. The victor entered the room with an air of confidence, his championship gleaming on his shoulder. In contrast, Fatu seemed to be a guy prepared for battle as he entered. As soon as the bell sounded, a titanic battle broke out. They tested one another's boundaries for half an hour. Despite the champion's best efforts, Fatu's overwhelming strength and unpredictability were too much for him to handle. From the top rope, Fatu executed a stunning moonsault that reverberated across the crowd. In retaliation, the champion brandished a lethal spear. There were tremendous smashes, near falls, and counters throughout this bout. The time has finally arrived. Fatu landed a devastating Samoan drop on the champion as he prepared to land his finishing move. The whole stadium was on the edge of its seat as he ascended the top rope. Still one more moonsault. The count is 1, 2, 3. A bell sounded. Unthinkable had transpired. The newly crowned WWE champion was Jacob Fatu.